Hello and welcome to That Perfect Day. I'm Scott Ramsey, and I am fascinated by the quote, "At the moment of conviction, the universe conspires to assist you." So I'm headquartered here in Beacon, New York, but I'm on a journey to discover global stories of people who have taken bold action to step into their best selves, to take those moments of conviction. And I want to find out how the universe assisted along the way. So let's get started. For my first interview, I'm here in Beacon, New York with John Procario at Procario Designs. John is a master at taking his wood sculpture ideas to the limits and calls his wood sculptures sculptural luminaries. And as life goes, he didn't really start out with this in mind.
I actually went to college to draw, like to do two-dimensional drawing, painting.
Okay.
Because that's what I thought I wanted to do. And then I took Intro to Wood my second semester. And I was like, this is it. Because I had always been doing woodworking because my dad's a carpenter, so he had a bunch of material lying around that I would always tinker with. So it connected. It was like, it felt extremely right. Like that's what I needed to be doing all the time.
What was that moment like? Do you remember a moment of realization or kind of an instance of like, oh wow, this is clicking together in a unique way?
I really didn't think of doing the woodworking as like sculpturally right away. Like I was thinking more functionally. But like as I was in college taking a bunch of different classes,
yeah.
So I was kind of combining ideas from other classes back into the woodworking, and all very organically started to turn into these sculptural wooden objects, while also making furniture. So I think I was dancing around the idea of like this functionality and this sculptural aspect.
That's incredible. Like I'm fascinated by that sensibility of wanting to create something that is at the same time functional and also sort of inspiring, or has some sort of artistic capability to it.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think that came from?
I think I felt pressured to build something. Build furniture. I think most woodworkers feel pressured to build furniture. Mm-hmm. So I did. That's where I started. And then it became more sculptural. And I just landed right there in the middle where it was sculptural wooden lighting.
Nice.
That's the best way to describe it. And in terms of the language that I use when making them, really came from the work I was doing, where I was thinking of wood as a metaphor for the body and how it moves and to a point of comfort, and it won't go beyond that without breaking. So it's like I wanted to push that, just like an athlete would, or a dancer would, or anybody. I wanted to push that limit of the wood's flexibility to create something really beautiful, a beautiful product of the strain of the material. I think that was an interesting idea that I was really kind of obsessed with early on.
So you graduate from college, mm-hmm. and you've sort of found your space, where you're working in this like bent wood. You've started to deal with like illuminating pieces. You're investigating that. What happens next?
Luckily, my dad was interested in helping me turn the garage into a wood shop, where I was able to use that. So yeah, it was. I really lucked out. That's the universe.
Yeah, yeah.
That step is what made everything possible, I think.
Yeah.
Having that shop, that beginning shop in the garage.
Yeah.
That two car garage.
Helpful, and I imagine he probably felt pretty solid about his investment too.
Yeah, it all worked out. Yeah. Like if I wasn't going to be successful doing woodworking and making sculpture, then I wasn't going to be anything basically. Like that's I was 100% committed, and that was, I think, my moment of conviction, where I put every bit of energy throughout the day into finding a spot to work. Finding someone to look at my art.
You said finding people to enjoy your work, right? Mm-hmm. And to appreciate your work. What was that process like?
That was interesting. That was hard. That was really hard. I feel like the whole making art to me is communication. And you need to say something, you need someone to listen. So it's always been about community to me. Whether I'm making something alone or, I'm with a group of people. Obviously, I prefer to be with a group of people, but yeah, community and art are hand in hand in my mind.
This has been really, really amazing. It's been such a joy getting to know you. I feel so lucky to have been neighbors right from the beginning of my time here in this community. Yeah. And I'm so appreciative of not only you as a person, but also of your creativity and your art and the collaborative sense that you bring to it and the work that you do. And I just am so grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You can see more of John's work and learn more about him and his team at johnprocario.com or on Instagram at Procario Designs. He's also exclusively represented by Todd Merrill Studio in New York City.
We went for a drive in your car. Sunday was cloudy and gray. The music coming from the radio was a perfect match for the perfect day. Stop from time to time to buy a trinket, and maybe drink another beer. Oh, it never really mattered. We were just meant to play, on that perfect day. You know how it feels when you finally find your place. It's just supposed to be, on that perfect day. We were headed home and I looked over. I looked at your face, saw you wear it so well. I don't know when it hit me, but it hit me on that perfect day. You know how it feels when you finally find your place. It's just supposed to be, on that perfect day. On that perfect day. Know how it feels when you finally find your place. It's just supposed to be, on that perfect day. On that perfect day. On that perfect
That was the maverick pop duo The Costellos, and I am honored to have their work be the theme song for the show. You know how it feels when you finally find your place. Be sure to check out more of their incredible work wherever you enjoy streaming music and at thecostellosmusic.com. We'll be right back. Welcome back. In this next interview, I'm traveling to Atlanta, Georgia, where Kathleen Kelly launched Furnish with Love. Her organization is doing incredible work for her community, and it was a thrill to hear about Kathleen's journey in building her nonprofit. Hey everyone, I'm Scott Ramsey and welcome to That Perfect Day. We are here at Furnish with Love in Decatur, Georgia with my dear friend Kathleen Kelly, who is doing some incredible work, and I want you to hear all about it. So Kathleen, tell us about where we are and what you're up to.
So we're here in Decatur, Georgia, and this is our home facility, which we call lovingly the Hive, because we think of ourselves as busy bees in here, all doing lots of work for the good of our mission, which is to design and fully furnish homes for families transitioning from homelessness.
Very cool. I love that.
Well, the next family we're helping, it's a mom and her 2 little girls, and it will be our 33rd family to help. They have 1 blanket for mom and the 2 little girls, and that's it.
Wow.
So we do this because we believe in the value of the mental health provided by having space that feels good, space that a family can be proud of, that a child can look at and feel like this is a standard of living that I deserve and that I want to see happen in my life moving forward.
Yeah. So, I'm obsessed with the quote, at the moment of conviction, the universe conspires to assist you. What was that like leading up to that and sort of sharpening up that moment and that idea?
Sure. So there are a whole lot of pieces that bring us all to whatever moment in our life, right? The day it came out of my mouth that I was going to do this, it just came out without a lot of forethought. Obviously, there was a lot behind it in my life that led to that moment, but when I said I was going to do that, it just came out, and then I thought, what did I just say, kind of thing. And the more I talked about it, the more I felt confident and at the same time terrified, because I thought, well, now I've shared with my peers and my neighbors and whoever is around me that I'm going to do this, and what if I don't? Or what if it doesn't succeed? But it just took on a life of its own, thank goodness. And then all these great volunteers come in and it just happens now. It just moves forward now.
Yeah, I love what you're saying about how it just sort of then starts to take on its own shape and people start to show up. And I think that is the universe conspiring to assist you. That is that space, right? And what were your strategies and your tactics to kind of keep yourself in motion?
I would say, for one, I keep reminding myself that I don't need to know it all. And so I have those little moments where I'll think, I'm a little embarrassed that I don't know how to do such and such, but I can't be that way, because then this isn't going to work. And all these great people around me, and somebody's going to have good ideas. And I've come to love getting a team together around any question and just talking it through.
There is something about that space when for whatever reason, we take the courage, and you've had this courageous moment where you were willing to step into what you felt like was really your meaning and what you wanted to do. And then to be able to reflect back and see how the universe really did sort of align with that and start to bring in elements to support that. I'm just fascinated by that experience.
It's so fun to see it happen, and it happens regularly still. More and more pieces of this come together. They just come.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah. Talk me through what your perfect day looks like. What is that perfect day for you when everything's firing and all the pieces have come together?
So it's the nesting days, of course. Yeah. So I just wake up in a great mood, put on my Furnish with Love t-shirt, and we go through the day. And I just love seeing everybody in there, and I kind of flit around the volunteers, make sure everybody's having a great experience and really getting a lot out of it. And then it's turning into a great product for a family that I keep in my mind for a long time.
Excellent.
They let you know that they really are grateful for what it is, and grateful because it's something that they can share with their children. It's very clear that that's why it's important to them, because they can share with their children this new standard of living, a peaceful place for them to live in, desks for them to do their homework at, tables around which they can share meals, and it gives them a great sense of integrity for them and for their children.
I would imagine that a lot of your volunteers have a tremendous amount of feel a sense of gratitude when they're doing the work that they're doing, the thankfulness to be able to be engaged in that kind of work.
Right. I had one designer who leaned over to me and she said, I told my daughter this morning, this is the most important thing I've ever done in my life, doing this today.
Wow.
She hadn't done something like that, and she really believed, she knew what she was doing for that family.
That's amazing. Well, I want to share with you, I don't know if you remember, I was looking up the date, I think it was back in the summer of 2018 that we were visiting, and we were in the car, we had been to Dancing Goats, and it was just you and I, and you were at a place, I think, where your kids were going to finally all be sort of in the school, and we were talking about, you know, what is next now that you're at this space where they were moving into their next chapter of their lives, what was next for you? And your response to, do you remember that moment?
No, I don't. What did I say?
Well, you sort of weren't sure. You actually were very authentic about it, which I loved, and you said, you know, I'm not really sure. I've got some sort of ideas that I'm thinking about, but you hadn't actually gotten to that moment yet. And I want to thank you for sharing all this with us today and for being such a big part of inspiring me, because I think the work you're doing is really amazing, and it's so exciting to be able to reflect back and see the growth that you've gone through to bring this to fruition. This is just incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Kathleen and her team are doing amazing work at Furnish with Love in the Atlanta community. And they're always looking for more individuals to get involved. So find out how to visit the Beehive and be a part of their work by visiting furnishwithlove.org. So That Perfect Day includes global stories, and I want to share with you the story of one of my favorite places in one of my favorite cities. Tokyo, Japan is an incredibly special place. It can feel traditional and innovative all at the same time. And one of my favorite places to go when I'm there is Tokyo Little House. Located in central Tokyo's Akasaka district, it was built just after World War II when most of the city was in ruins. A couple built the small two-story home in 1948, and eventually Tokyo Little House was the last post-war wooden building left on the street. And it's remained in the family for 2 more generations, and now has been restored for guests to enjoy. The first floor cafe features exhibits on Tokyo's history with old magazines and books and rare documents, and they reveal the house's post-war journey. And the upstairs has been renovated and refurbished into a traditional Japanese home, which can be booked for a hotel stay. It's all been preserved in the hope that it provides glimpses of life in the city of the past for all those who visit and call Tokyo home today. Go to tokyolittlehouse.com to learn even more, and be sure to visit should you be in Tokyo. Well, that's our first show. And I'm so grateful to John Procario and Kathleen Kelly and the Costellos and all the people and talent it took to make this first episode. I really believe that when we take bold action and work towards being our best selves, that is how we make the world a better place. So I want to hear about your experience, and if you have a great idea for a story, just email me at scott@scottramsey.net. And until next time, I'm wishing you your very own perfect day.